students, today we are going to take a revision class of our lesson. It is the revision class of second revision class. Okay. In this class we discuss about which chapter? Lesson 13, transportation in animals and plants. Transportation in animals and plants. Okay children. So we all learned this lesson very well. So we all write all the notes of this lesson. Okay, so once again we will revise this. So through this we can understand all the topics based on this lesson. Okay, transportation in animals and plants. Transportation in animals and plants. In this lesson we discuss about all organisms need, what are the basic components needed for all the organisms: food, water, then oxygen, food, water, air, sunlight and shelter. Food, water, air and shelter. Okay, so and animals also need food, water, air and shelter. Then the plants also need food, water, air and shelter for their survival. Then we know different animals are also how all the needed things for our body is transported to one part to another. Yes, we know that from the waste, the energy is transported to one part to another. Then the waste products are removed from our body through different parts. Okay, so we know in our body consists of circulatory system. Our body consists of circulatory system. Circulatory system. Our body consists of circulatory system. Then the circulatory system consists of different parts: blood vessels, heart. Blood vessel, heart. These consist of the circulatory system in an organism. Circulatory system in an organism. Which are the parts included in the circulatory system? Circulatory system consists of first one blood, second one blood vessel, third one heart. So in the blood vessel, we know about what are properties for blood. We know blood is red in color. Blood have a fluid consistency. Then blood flow is the fluid which flows in blood vessels. Then what is the function? Do you know what are the functions of blood transport the substances like digested food from the small intestine to the other parts of our body. Then it carries oxygen from the lungs to the cells of the body. Then it transport waste for removal from the body. These all are conducted by the blood. Conducted by blood in the blood vessels. Blood in the blood vessel. What are the different functions of blood? The digested food is transported to different parts of the body. Then it carries oxygen from the lungs to the different parts of the body. It to remove waste from the body. These are the different functions of blood. Okay. Then next, the blood contains the fluid part that is called the plasma. This is called the blood contains a fluid part that is called the plasma. Then, and the different components are present inside of the blood. They are plasma, fluid part is called the plasma, then RBC, then WBC, then platelets, RBC, WBC and platelets. RBC, WBC and platelets. These are the different components of blood. These are different components of blood. Once again, plasma, RBC, WBC and platelets. Plasma, RBC, WBC and platelets. These are different components present in the blood vessels. First one, plasma. Plasma is the fluid part of the blood. RBC is the red blood cell, WBC is the white blood cell, then platelets. First of all, RBC, red blood cells. Red blood cells give the red color to the blood. So that red color given to the blood by a pigment that is called hemoglobin. That is called hemoglobin. Red pigment that is called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. So the hemoglobin helps the RBC to bind with oxygen. That oxygen is carried into all parts of the body through RBC. Then next one WBC. Next one WBC is the white blood cells. The WBC, the white blood cell fight against the foreign body. If the foreign body is enters to our body, or the white blood cells fight against germs that enter our body. Fight against germs. Germs enter our body. Fight against germs that enter our body by WBC. Then platelets. Platelets will help our blood to clot. Helps our blood to clot. That means during an accident or if any injury to our body. So we know that our body, from our body, the blood is oozed out. So during that time, if we know the continuous flow of blood from our body will leads to the dangerous situation for us. So to avoid that situations, our body, our blood contains platelets. That platelets will help the blood to stop the flow of blood from the injured position. So we know that if we have a wound in our body, anywhere of our body, so after some time what happens is the first of all the blood is coming out from the wound. Then after some time we can see yellowish substances formed on the wounded part. So that is called the platelets. That platelets will help helps the blood to clot. Okay. The clot is formed because of the platelets are present in the blood. Okay, so all of you understood about the blood circulatory system. In our body, the circulatory system helps our body to transport all the needed things to our body. So the circulatory system consists of blood vessel and the heart. First one, blood. Blood means blood is the fluid part. So what are the different functions of blood? Blood will help to transport the digested food from to all parts of the body. It will carry oxygen to all parts of the body, and also it will carry oxygen from the lungs to all parts of the body. It will remove the waste products from our body. That is also done by the blood. Then the blood contains different components. First one, plasma. Plasma is the fluid part of the blood. Then RBC. RBC is the red blood cells. We know the red color will get from the red pigment, that is called the hemoglobin. And hemoglobin helps to bind with the oxygen. That oxygen is carried into all parts of the body through the RBC, by the RBC. Then WBC. WBC is the white blood cells. The white blood cells fight against the germs that enter into our body. So, any antibody, then if any foreign body is entered into our body, WBC fight against that foreign body. Then next one, platelets. The platelets will help to clot the blood. Clot the blood. Next one, blood vessel. Next one, blood vessels. Next one, blood vessels. We know blood vessels. There are different types of blood vessels are present in our body, in the body. So we know that during inhalation, during breathing time, we know inhalation and exhalation takes place alternately. So in that times oxygen and carbon dioxide oxygen is take in and carbon dioxide is take out. So in this process, the transport of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place through blood vessels. So the blood vessels are of two types, arteries and veins. Blood vessels are of two types, arteries and veins. Arteries and veins. Okay. Then arteries are the blood vessels which carry oxygen-rich blood from the heart to the all parts of the body. Then what is the function of arteries? Artery is a type of blood vessels and also it carry the oxygen carry oxygen rich blood. It carry oxygen rich blood from the heart. Oxygen rich blood from the heart to all parts of the body. Then arteries. Then next we learn about the pulse and pulse rate. Pulse means the throbbing of the artery, the throbbing of the movements. We can feel from our wrist if we touch. That means through the arteries the blood is flow is taken place. That blood flow we can feel in a throbbing moments. That throbbing moment is called the pulse. So we can calculate the pulse rate. What is pulse rate? Means the number of beats. The number of beats per minute is considered as the pulse rate. Then next vein. What is the function of artery? Artery is a blood vessel which carry oxygen rich air from the heart to all parts of the body. Next vein. Vein is the blood vessel which carry carbon dioxide rich blood from all parts of the body. Carbon dioxide rich blood from all parts of the body back to the heart. Then the arteries carry oxygenated blood and the veins carry deoxygenated blood. Then capillaries. Capillaries also thin tubular tubes. Tubes contains the arteries divided into smaller vessels. Then these further divided into thin tubes are called capillaries. Next one, blood, heart. Next one, heart. We know the heart consists of heart is an organ which beat continuously, which carries oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood, and it will help to transport of blood, and also it will carry different other substances to our body. Then the heart consists of four chambers. The two upper chamber called atria and two lower chamber called ventricles. Two upper chamber are called the atria, that is left atrium and right atrium. Two lower chamber called ventricles, that is left ventricle and right ventricle. Left ventricle and right ventricle. Then we can see the vena cava and aorta in the section of human heart. The aorta is the biggest blood vessel of the human body. Then vena cava is the largest vein of human body. Which is the biggest blood vessel of the human body? Aorta. And the largest vein of human body is vena cava. Then right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle and left ventricle. These are the different four chambers of heart. Why the heart is divided into four chambers? It will help to avoid mixing up of oxygen rich blood with the carbon dioxide rich blood. Okay, next heartbeat. Next we learn about heartbeat. Heartbeat. We know we use a device to count the heartbeat, that is called a stethoscope. The doctors use the stethoscope to count the heartbeat. Okay. Then next we learn about excretion in animals. We know the heart consists of different parts, four chambers, right and left. Two upper chambers are called atria and two lower chambers are called ventricles. Okay, here excretion in animals. So we know excretion in animals takes place excretion, what do you mean by excretion? Excretion is a process of removal of waste produced in the cells of the living organism. That is called excretion. Then do you know which are the different parts involved in the human excretory system? Yes, kidney, ureter, urinary bladder, urethra, then urinary opening. Urethra and urinary opening. Excretory system in humans. So, we know first kidney. The waste present in the blood has to be removed from the body through urine. So, through excretion process. The human excretory system consists of different parts: kidney, ureter, urinary bladder, urethra, then urinary opening. Here, kidney. What is the mechanism of kidney in excretory system? The mechanism to filter the blood. To filter the blood, it is done by the blood capillaries in the kidneys. Which organ helps to filter the blood? Yes, the kidney consists of so many capillaries, so that capillaries helps to filter the blood in kidneys. Then we know when the blood reaches the two kidneys, we have two kidneys. So when the blood reaches the two kidneys, it contains both useful and harmful substances. The useful substances are absorbed back into the blood, and the unwanted substances dissolved in water are removed as in the form of urine. So from the kidneys, the urine goes the urinary bladder through a tube-like structure that is called the ureter. So it is stored in the bladder and is passed out through the urinary opening at the end of a muscular tube called urethra. And at the end of a muscular tube called urethra. Okay, all of you understood about the excretory system in humans. The excretory, we know inside the human body there are lots of waste are produced. So that produced waste are must be removed from our body. So that is happen through excretion process. Excretion is the process of removal of waste products from the cells of all living organisms. It's called excretion. So for the excretory system in humans consists of kidney, ureter, urinary bladder and urethra, urinary opening. So the kidney consists of so many capillaries, so that capillaries helps to filter the blood. So the blood contains useful, harmful and useful substances. The useful substances are absorbed back to the blood, and the harmful substances are dissolved in the water, and it is removed from our body in the form of urine. So that urine is passed from the kidney to the ureter, through to the urinary bladder through a tube-like structure that is called the ureter. Then from the urinary bladder, it passes out through the urinary opening at the end of the muscular tube called the urethra. Then an adult human being normally passes 1 to 1.8 liter urine in 24 hours. The urine consists of different waste, unwanted substances like water, urea and other waste products. So here 2.5% of urea and 2.5% of other unwanted products are released through urine. Okay, then we know how the aquatic organisms excrete. We know the aquatic animals like the fishes excrete cell waste as ammonia, which directly dissolve in water. What happens is, we know aquatic animals means they are always live in water, inside the water. So the aquatic animals like the fishes excrete the cell waste from their body directly to the water itself. That is in the form of ammonia, that is dissolves in the water. Then some land animals like the lizard, birds, lizards, snakes excrete a semi-solid white colored compound, that is uric acid. The major excretory product in human is urea, that is uric acid. So lizard, snake, some birds or excrete some colored compounds, that is uric acid. Sometimes next one, sometimes a person's kidney may stop work due to some infections or injury. Sometimes persons' kidneys may stop working due to infection or injury. As a result, the kidney failure, waste product starts accumulating inside the blood. So such persons cannot survive. So their blood is filtered periodically through an artificial kidney. That process is called dialysis. Next, transport of substances in plants. How transport of substances in human beings takes place? Through circulatory system. Then the waste is removed through excretory system. Then transport of substances in plants. The plants also transport their needed substances. And unwanted substances are also released. How? The transport of water and minerals. We know how the plants prepare their food through photosynthesis. They prepare their food through photosynthesis with the help of water, air and sunlight. So they get sunlight from the sun, they get air from the atmosphere, they get water from where? They get water from the soil. How they get water from the soil, or how they absorb water from the soil? With the help of a root system. That is called with the help of roots. The roots will help the plants to absorb water from the soil. Okay, the root will help the absorption of water and minerals, nutrients dissolved in the water. Then the roots consist of some root hairs. So the root hairs in contact with the water present between the soil particles. So that will help the plants to absorb water, minerals and nutrients from the soil. Then we know that plants consist of some different vascular tissues. Two types of vascular tissues are there, xylem and phloem. A tissue means, what is a tissue? A tissue is a group of cells. A group of cells are called tissues. All the tissue have their own functions. So the vascular tissue consists of two vascular tissues are there in plants, xylem and phloem. Xylem is a vascular tissue, helps for the transport of water and nutrients in the plant. Water and nutrients in the plants takes place with the help of a vascular tissue, that is called xylem. Then it will connect. Xylem is a continuous network that connects roots to the leaves through the stem and the branches, thus transports water to the entire plant, plants. Then next one, phloem. Phloem helps for the transport of food to all parts of the plant. Okay, this is done by the vascular tissue called phloem. Xylem and phloem will help for the transport of substances in plants, which will help the plants to transport the substances to all parts of the plants. Yes, xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem are two vascular tissues. Tissue means a group of cells. So the xylem vascular tissue helps the plants to transport water and minerals. Then phloem will help the plants to transport food to all parts of the plants. Next one, transpiration. How the wastes are removed from the plants through a process that is called transpiration. The transpiration process will help the plants to release a lot of water, unwanted water, to the atmosphere through a process that is called transpiration. So plants absorb minerals, nutrients and water from the soil. So that is not much required for their use. The remaining part of water is released into the atmosphere through a process that is called transpiration. Then the transpiration takes place in the in which part of the plant? Yes, through the leaves. The leaves contains tiny pores, small pores are there. That small pores are called stomata. That stomata will help the plants to release water to the atmosphere through a process. That process is called transpiration. That process is called transpiration. And the evaporation of water from the leaves generates a suction pull water, which can pull water to great heights in the tall trees. Transpiration also cools the plant. Transpiration cools the plant. Then evaporation will helps the plants to take the water from the soil to a large heights. So children, our lesson is over. So next we move on to our exercise portion. So first one, match the column. First one, match the column. First one, stomata, xylem, root hairs, phloem. Then stomata. Stomata will help absorption of water, transpiration. Stomata will help for transpiration. Then xylem. Xylem will help for the transport of water. Transport of water. Then root hairs will help for the absorption of water. Then phloem will help for the transport of food. Transport of food. Transport of food. Then next fill in the blanks. Next, the blood from the heart is transported to all parts of the body by the blood vessels. Hemoglobin is present in dark cells, red blood cells. Arteries and veins are joined by a network of capillaries. The rhythmic expansion and contraction of the heart is called the heartbeat. The main excretory product in human being is urea. Sweat contains water and salt and urea. Water, salt and urea. Kidneys eliminate the waste materials in the liquid form called urine. Then water reaches great heights in the trees because of suction pull caused by evaporation. Then choose the correct option. In plants, water transport is xylem. Water absorption through roots can be increased by keeping the plants. Absorption through roots can be increased by keeping the plants in the shade, in dim light, under the fan, covered with a polythene bag in the shade. Okay, so children, next all are why is transport of materials necessary in a plant or in an animal is explained. We know that the transport of materials required for the survival of all living organisms. So the transport of materials consists of to transport different substances needed for our body. So it is the ultimate function happening in our body for our survival. Next, what will happen if there are no platelets in the blood? All the blood contains in our body oozes out, so it will lead to a dangerous situations. If otherwise, we are going to die. Next one, what does stomata give two functions of stomata? Stomata are the small or tiny pores present on the leaves that are called stomata. The stomata will help the plants for transpiration. Then, does transpiration serve any useful function in the plants? Yes, it will cools the plant. What are the components of blood? Yes, plasma, fluid part, plasma, then red blood cells are white blood cells and platelets. Why is blood needed by all parts of the body? Because it will transport all digested food to all parts of the body. It will remove the waste from the body. Then it will helps to carry oxygen from the lungs to all parts of the body. Next one, what makes the blood look red? The red pigment, hemoglobin. The hemoglobin will binds the oxygen and it will helps to transport all parts of the body. Then why is it necessary to excrete waste products? What happens if the waste products are accumulated in our body? What happens? Our kidney may not functioning proper, so it will leads to a dangerous situation. So the waste products are necessary to remove from our body. Okay, children, our lesson is over. Revision portion is over. I think all of you understood well this lesson. So if you have any doubt, ask me. You should read more and more times. Through reading, you can acquire all the topics or each and every minute points present in this lesson. So, children, so let's wind up the class. Thank you.